Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk. Hope you all had a great day. And in today's video, we are going to be going over some of the reveal cards that were revealed today from the various Fab creators. I wanted to wait until the end of the day to kind of give my thoughts and reactions on some of the cards that have been revealed. Just a quick note before we start, definitely go to the Fab TCG website and go to the Uprising articles in the articles section and see some of the creators that revealed these cards. Check out their channels, check out their pages and how they posted, because we want to get more people. They revealed these cards for a reason. They're great individuals, so definitely check them out. I'm just going to kind of give a summary of some of the public cards or cards that are public knowledge now. Today was mostly centered around Dromai Asharis, as you see now on your screen, but there were a couple draconic cards that will apply to Phi as well. For anyone that didn't know, Phi is also going to be draconic. So it's general draconic cards will be able to be used by both of them. So, but yeah, the first one I want to go over obviously was Dromai Asharis. We knew she was coming, but we weren't sure what her abilities were. We ended up finding out that her abilities are whenever you pitch a red card, create an Ash token, and we'll talk about what that is here in a second. And then if you've played a red card this turn, dragons you control gain go again while attacking. First thoughts about this is it's similar to the Prism abilities with like Luminaris and stuff like that. We'll talk about her weapon in a second and how that goes. But in order to turn on her dragons go again, you have to play a red card. Now that red card could be anything, right? It's not specific to a certain type or whatever. It's just a red card. So like my buddy Parker said, if you play a Scar for a Scar, 0 go again, then all of a sudden all your dragons have go again or something like that. You can really play anything. So and we'll kind of see this more as we talk about these cards, but she's gonna have to run like a mix of basically red and blue cards, because you're gonna need blue cards. You're gonna need some pitch in order to pay for like these high dragon allies that you're gonna be wanting to have. But you also need the red cards to be able to create Ash, which also in turn creates your little mini dragons, which are basically like allied spectral shields in a way. And we'll kind of get to that in a second. But really cool art, really like her look. She creates Ash. This is what her whole archetype is centered around. So it's material, which is a new keyword in the game. Ash reads, while Ash is under an object, that object has Phantasm. When this is defended by a non-lose attack with 6 or more, destroy this and close the combat chain. So whenever she pitches a red card, she creates one of these. Basically, you build up enough Ash in order to create stuff like Ether Ashwing. Ether Ashwing was a third card revealed. So Ether Ashwing, like you'll see here in a second, there's certain cards that create Ether Ashwings from Ash. So if you have 3 Ash and then you can create 3 Ether Ashwing, they're basically 1/1 allies that have Arcane Barrier 1. So if you have 3 of these, you technically have Arcane Barrier 3, and you have 3 dragons, because it's a Dragon Illusionist token that attack for 1. And if, like, going back to her abilities, if you've played a red card this turn, dragons you control gain go again. So these cards will gain go again. Before her weapon was revealed, and this is kind of spoiling a little bit of what we're going to go over with her weapon, people were asking, like, well, this card doesn't say action on it, so how do you give it go again? So everybody was assuming that her weapon was going to be similar to Luminaris, which gives, dragons an action 0 like attack, right? But regardless, this allows you to ping damage, and these aren't popped when damage is dealt like Spectral Shields. They stay on the board until somebody attacks. My first thought about these, and we'll kind of have to see when the new set comes, right? Me being a ninja player, I hope for this hero's sake that they have something that will prevent people from attacking their allies or slow them down. Because if you have, let's say you have 3 of these on the board, and let's not even say I'm playing 5, let's say I'm playing Katsu. If I Kadachi and then play another attack, and then I attack your dragons every single time, I'm going to get a free mash trigger, because you can't defend these cards, right? So if I Kadachi into Surging into Whelming Gust Wave, I just destroyed all 3 of your Ash Wings, and I just drew 2 cards, one from Whelming Gust Wave off combo, and one from one from Mask of Momentum. Granted, yes, I just dealt 9 damage and didn't technically deal you any damage, but I got rid of your board state and I drew 2 cards. A simpler, like less like impactful way on me, it's just Kadachi like head jab, and now I just got a mash trigger and I got rid of all your Ash Wings. So there's definitely going to be some counters to these. Like having a bunch of these on the field will be a little bit overwhelming, but for really go wide aggro heroes, I don't see us being too big of an issue. It'll be an issue if she can buff these really consistently or have a way to pull out her like big dragons early. But these right here, like they look really good on paper, but we'll have to see like how strong or not strong they are depending on what's going on. For another card that was real, this is Breakpoints. This is a draconic action, so both Phi and Jeremiah can use this. If Breaking Point is played as a chain link 4 or higher, it has, when it hits a hero, destroy all cards in their arsenal. So it's basically like Command and Conquer. It's a 1 for 5. So with Jeremiah, this is really good because with her weapon, which you'll see in a second, you give all your attacks go again. If you have 3 of those little Ether Ash Wings and you attack with them 3 times for no resources, then you play Breakpoint and then go with their arsenal, right? So it's really easy to get to that 4th chain link with her. And when it comes to 5, we haven't seen his cards yet, so we only can speculate but so much. But it seems like to me that this whole set, like minus Eastlander, is really big on chain links. So I wouldn't be surprised if Phi has an ability, like I said before in my last video, where it's about him creating chain links or a lot of chains or having buffs depending on how many chain links he has. Like, these cards are starting to show my theory of, Phi's ability potentially having to do with the amount of chain links that you have attacked with. Next one is Rake the Embers. Create an Ash token, then transform up to 3 Ash you control into Ether Ash Wings. So like I said, if you have 3 Ash on the field, you can play cards like this. And the good synergy about this is, let's say you have 3 Ash on the field and you play this. It costs 1, so you have to pitch it. So if you pitch a red to play this, you now just created an Ash token. So now you have 4 Ash tokens. Then you gave all your attacks go again because you played a red card, and then you created 3 Ether Ash Wings. So now you have 1 Ash, 3 of the little mini dragons, and now they all can ping you for 1, and like, it's just really good. It's only a 2 block, and I think that that's going to be one thing with her, is she's going to be even worse with Prism than Prism is, where she can't really block. I think a lot of her attacks can be instants or cards that don't block or stuff like that, or cards she wants to use, so she's not going to be able to block very much. She's going to have to really rely on her little mini dragons to kind of help her like stay alive, because I don't think Jeremiah is going to want to block very much. Next one is, sorry for the quality, Silken Form, which is arms equipment. For Illusionist, destroy Silken Form. It's instant. Transform target Ash you control into Ether Ashwing. This is good for, obviously, for you can do it on your turn or the opponent's turn. It also has Quell, which is a new keyword that says if your hero be dealt damage, you may pay it 1 and prevent that much damage. If you do, destroy Silken Form at the beginning of your end phase. It's basically, if 9 damage is coming at you and you have 3 blues that don't block, you could technically pitch 9 and block all 9 damage, but you would destroy this in the process. But it's good for her. Definitely a strong equipment, something you could see using. The arms are already kind of a free spot, at least right now, with Illusionist, so definitely something you could think about. Then you have Billion Mirage, which is a Draconic Illusionist action. When you attack with Billion Mirage, transform 1 Ash you control into Ether Ashwing. So again, this is a red for 1. So if you pitch a red to play this, you create an Ash, you create Ashwing, and then you also transform another Ashwing, right? So like, or you transform Ashwing, you create Ash, and you can attack, right? And you give all your dragons go again. So this basically allows you, this is basically a 1 for 4 because you're going to attack with this, then attack with your Ashwing with go again. So definitely a strong card. I think she's going to have a lot of like low cost red cards, and then like her big cards are going to be her dragons, obviously. This is a 3 block though. Next one is Lava Burst. This is a draconic action. If Lava Burst is played, chain link 4 or higher, it has +3. It's basically a 0 for 5. 4 or higher, I think it's going to be good in Phi, and obviously Jeremiah. Both of these heroes are going to rely on chain links, so if you can, if you've attacked with your weapons and something else, and you've dealt like 8-9 damage, and all of a sudden you come with 5 at the end, like this could be really good on a mass trigger or something like that. And then at worst, it's a 0 for 2, which isn't great, but you never know. If you have a way to buff it or razor it or anything like that, you definitely could still be useful even without its rupture ability. Next one is Skittering Sands. Skittering Sands. It's transform, another keyword. Transform target Ash you control into Ether Ashwing. It gains +3 until the end of turn. So you play this, it's a red card, you give Ashwing +3, and you transform, so it's attacking for 4, and it has go again because you played a red card, so definitely a good card. At common, this is pretty nutty. I'm assuming it's going to be +2 at yellow and +1 at blue. So definitely the reds, and you could definitely probably run the reds, I think would be really useful. We'll see if people run yellows or blues if they come in different colors. Then you have Invoke Domina. This is a legendary. You may only have 1 of these in your deck for good reason. It costs 4, and you transform any target ash you control into domina, which is this, and this is the Marvel version. So domina is whenever domina attacks a hero, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a red card, look at their hand and banish a card from it. So pretty nutty if you're not, as long as you're not playing a Levia or or a chain, which chain will be gone by then you don't have to worry about it. But definitely there's a reason why this is only one in the deck, because you can bring a very powerful ally and attacks it. It has 4 health, so you're gonna have to hit 4 off of it. Sorry, my nose is itching at that. You're gonna have to hit 4 off of it in order to kill it, because its health's gonna reset at the end of your turn. So this isn't as crazy as it's gonna be. You're gonna be able to take it off the board pretty easily, to be honest. Like, you don't lose go again when you attack allies, right? So this is really good, but we'll see how good or bad it is. We have to see the full set to see how good these dragons are. Because, like, to me, just looking at this dragon, like, yes, you can give it go again if you play a red card, but, like, I don't know. It's a 0 for 4 for go again. You banish a card out of their hand, which is really good. It's basically you make them discard a card, right? But it only has 4 health. So if you have no way of, like, preventing damage on it, then because you can't use it with Quell, because Quell is if the target, if we go back to Quell's mechanic, right, with her arms, it's if your hero would be dealt damage. So Quell's not going to work with this to prevent this from taking damage. So if she doesn't have any way to prevent damage on her big tall dragons, they're just going to get killed really fast. So we'll see how good or bad this is. It's really up for debate if she's going to be a good or a bad deck yet, really. I mean, we haven't seen on the cards, obviously. Then this is her weapon. So this is the thing where everybody was talking about. This is basically a Draconic Luminaris. Dragon allies you control have once per turn action 0 attack. So now when you couple this with her ability, basically doesn't cost anything to attack with your dragons, and they can go again as long as you've played a red card. Ice. This will be susceptible to ice, because if you have a frostbite, or let's not even frostbite. Let's say if Channel Lake Frigid is in play, now each of your ash wings cost 1 to attack with. So for a deck that uses a lot of red cards, that probably won't be a great thing. But we'll have to see. So definitely a good card. The art is amazing. It's really dope. So really excited for that. Then you have Sand Cover. Target ash you control gains Ward 4 until the end of the turn. If your hero be dealt damage, this is an instant, by the way. If your hero be dealt damage, prevent 4 that damage and destroy this. So basically, your ash can prevent 4 damage, 1 4 damage, and move on with your life, right? Pretty nutty, to be honest. Like, it's basically a defense reaction, as long as you have right, or defense react like card, as long as you have an ash in play. So, but there is a give and take with that, because you want to use your ash for, like, for creating ash wings, for turning your big dragons onto the field. So you are using up ash in order to defend. Then you have Red Hot, which is a Dromai or Fi specialization, which is dope. I want to see if Dromai and Fi are, like, blood related. I know Fi used to be a part of, like, the Imperials or whatever, the family. So it'd be cool if they were blood related, like brother and sister, maybe. That's my guess. That's a random guess. Maybe I'll be wrong. Probably wrong, but we'll see. It'd be really cool. Just really weird that they both have the same specialization. It makes me think they're in the family. But this has Rupture. If Red Hot is played with Chain Link 4 or higher, it has when you attack with this, reveal X top cards of your deck, where X is the number of Draconic Chain Links you control. Deal damage equal to the number of red cards revealed this way to any target, then shuffle. So it attacks for 4. If it's on Chain Link 4 and you reveal, 4, because it's when you attack with this, reveal a top X cards that number of X control. So counting this one, you would reveal 4 cards. If all 4 deal damage equal to the number of red cards. So if you reveal 4 cards, this is basically a 0 for 8 or 0 for 7. Some people are saying, like, this is like a bad for 5. This was like a bad flying kick. However, I think 5 is gonna be a little bit different, where he's gonna have ways to, like, create more chains without needing to use cards, if that makes sense. He's gonna have cards, I think, that create multiple chain links. That's my opinion. So you might be able to get to that 4th chain link easier than, like, a flying kick, especially if some of them cost 0 to play. So it'll be really interesting, but it's definitely really cool regardless. It's definitely a way to kind of go over the top at the end of a game. Like, if you have some way of going super wide, like 5-6 chain links, drawing cards and stuff, and then you play Red Hot for 10 or something like that would just be nutty. But definitely really cool regardless. I'm really excited to see what other cards come out of that. And then finally, burn them all. It has go again. Once per turn, when a dragon you control attacks, it deals 1 damage to each opposing hero. So this is ultimate pit fight. Because it says each opposing hero. So this is kind of an ultimate pit fight type card. At the beginning of your end phase, you may put a raise counter on burn them all, then destroy it unless you banish a red card from your graveyard for each raise counter on it. So ultimate pit fight, that's what this is for. But still, even in regular constructed, you could use this to keep doing ping damage and such. So really interesting. And it's aura, so it's only once per turn. So you're only going to get 1 ping out of it per turn, but it's still really cool. So but yeah, that's all the cards for today. There might have been 1 or 2 more from the time of recording, but I think they're done with reveals for today. But I'm super excited because hopefully tomorrow we get some Fi cards. It'd be really cool to talk about them. But yeah, if y'all enjoyed this, let me know what you think of Jeremiah. I'm not going to go too in depth if I think she's good or bad. I think she's definitely already got going to have some issues with people that can go really wide, but we haven't seen her full card pool yet, so we have to see how control-y she actually can be. But it's going to be really interesting to see her cards. I like the fact that Draconic can be used with multiple different classes or different classes. Because Draconic is a talent, right? It's going to be really interesting to see that in the same set when it comes to drafted and sealed. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. please do like, comment, subscribe. If not, go to our Fleshbug creator, do the same thing for them so we can get more people seeing this game. And I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.